Hi, welcome to ESPC24. I've got Habib Mankal with me here from Canada. Welcome, Habib.
Thank you. Thank you. My first ESPC.
Excellent,
Yeah.
excellent. Well, it's my, I think, third time speaking here. I was here attendees before. It's a great conference. And how about if you just introduce yourself briefly, Habib, to our viewers?
Yeah, for sure. My name is Habib Mankal. I'm a Microsoft MVP from Ottawa, Canada. I focus mainly on modern work, Microsoft 365 solution architecture for my clients. I'm an independent consultant as well. And like I said, Microsoft MVP, and this was my ninth year from a renewal perspective.
Excellent, excellent. And I guess if we start sort of the conversations around, it's all being around AI as we see and hear everything that all the vendors, technologies, including AI capabilities. If we look at from an M365 perspective, what do you see the trends or insights around that? That's sort of from your viewpoints. How do you see things are panning out?
Yeah, so I think Microsoft's vision around AI is really grand and big, and it's exciting because they're introducing a lot of new, different ways of end users being able to, get their hands on any of the AIs, like the agents that they've been
Right.
talking about, and being able to create and customize on their own, where previously it was mainly done sort of in the back end IT side
Right.
of thing, right, with Azure or some of the other different frameworks that they have. So it's kind of exciting that they're giving the power to the end users to be able to create some of their own different co-pilots, if you want to say.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's good. That's good. I think if we also then look at things like there are some challenges too, right? Because we sometimes assume that the users know everything about Microsoft 365, the apps and services.
Yeah.
Are there any aspects of the M365 you find that is challenging or like things could be better?
Like from the application, or are you talking more about all like the administration side
It
of
could be any
things?
part of
Yeah,
the
so
yeah.
I kind of feel like, especially just around the AI side of things, first and foremost, the biggest challenge I think that organizations are having is, what everybody's talking about is the oversharing of information,
Okay.
information management practices, and just, going through their proper, processes and, I guess, things that they need to do in order to sort of clean up their data, right?
Right.
And not just have things, long for a long period of time. Ensure that all your information is sort of adapted per the government laws that you may have,
Okay.
like, do you need 7 years retention, and
Right.
who needs access to that kind of stuff? So I think that's really kind of the challenge that organizations kind of have today, in order to start adopting Copilot a lot more, even though like the power of it is incredible for what you can actually achieve and do with the
Right.
tool, right?
Right. Yeah. No, that's true. I mean, I guess it is a broader set of ecosystem, isn't it, to try and unpack a lot of these things, and depending on what industry you're in, users, workforce will find different challenges, right?
Yeah.
And I guess from a learning perspective too, because obviously the technology is evolving at a much faster pace than ever we can imagine, right? So then I guess if anybody is trying to sort of learn about M365, are there any specific areas that one should try and focus on, or any resources that they should try and
Yeah,
grab? I mean,
like
I know there are usual resources, of course, but are there any tips or anything around that
Yeah,
you're able to
so
share?
I mean, I'll take it from kind of from two parts, right? One is from an organization perspective. It's really important that they have some sort of adoption practice within the organization, whether big or small, it doesn't really matter. But just ensure that you have some people and champions within
Right.
your organization to be able to provide that insight and information and training continuously, because adoption is kind of like security. It's never ending, right? It's always continuing. There's always new stuff that needs to be adapted and adjusted. So from an organization perspective, you definitely need to have that. There's so much material at, I think it's adoption.microsoft.com from that perspective. And then I get, from the end user side, I mean, there's tons of information on Microsoft Learn or support.office.com, but what I find really, really good, and I still use to date, is a lot of the people within our community, the Microsoft community and MVPs and stuff like that, they have tons of, podcasts or YouTube videos or stuff like that, right? Like, I'm a visual learner as well, so I like to see and do things. And then I think there are some opportunities to even, sign up for like temporary tenants and stuff like that, so you can play around with and break stuff if you want to. That's not going to affect your corporate side of things as an end user.
It's your playground, isn't it?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's interesting as well, because I think Microsoft do provide a lot of that resource and support in some cases around, like hydrating the content of the tenants. So sometimes you're not really starting off with empty tenant and building your own data. So
that's right.
That kind of helps you to get started to try things out. So that's useful. And I guess it kind of extends that point a bit further, like in the community, right? Because generally, like yourself, myself, and everyone, we tend to learn from each other and share good practices. I guess what would you say for somebody who's starting out in the community, who wants to kind of share their stories or their contributions? What would you advise, I guess, for making their journey easier, right?
Absolutely. I mean, you and I, we both do it all the time, right? So it's you have to really be passionate about something that you want to share, right? So, I mean, we are very passionate in wanting to share our knowledge, regardless of what aspect of it is, whether it's you're working on the administration side. It doesn't always have to be technical. I know a ton of adoption specialists that go out into the community and speak and stuff like that. So it's really what you're passionate about. And then there's different avenues that you can share that knowledge. If you are not interested in being a speaker because maybe you're not ready yet, there's definitely opportunities for you to, write blogs, do recordings. There's YouTube videos and stuff like that. Even if you don't host your own blog, there's the Microsoft Tech Community blog that you can post on there. Even LinkedIn, right? You can build up your LinkedIn exposure. Great resource. You can build tons of material there as well too. So I think the first step is really just get out there and
just
share.
Do it, right?
Yeah, just share, right? Because what I found from our community is that everybody is very supportive and very positive, and we're always there to help one another and learn from one another and support each other. Like, we go to each other's sessions because I want to learn something.
It's how
different.
I learn as well.
Yeah, right. So it's incredible the things. But I say the first step is just get out there and share it, and a lot of people will pile on and help.
There you go. So there you heard it from Habib. Just don't wait, just do it. And I guess if we talk about the conference here, right? The ESPC conference, and like you say, this is your first time here, right? And I know you had your tutorial yesterday with Vlad as well.
Correct.
Which was around the Teams. Something. Do you want to share some highlights on that?
Yeah, for sure. So Vlad Katrinescu and I, we did a tutorial, which is what we call the Ultimate Teams Administrator Workshop. And so since Vlad is predominantly more on the SharePoint collaboration side of things, and how I started in the technology was really around the telephony and meeting and communication side of things, we kind of felt that was a really good fit between the two of us, to put like one session together so that you can get both the collab side and the communication side all together. So it was really great. We had a lot of engagement within our tutorial. We kind of started out really from the base of Microsoft Teams, of how everything is structured around Microsoft 365 groups,
Right.
and sort of build on
Okay.
all the additional things on top of that. And then we got into the different ways to include the telephony, phone system capabilities
Right.
with inside Microsoft Teams, and then how do you manage Microsoft Teams room systems, securing them to the to ensure that you have the buy-in from the security team and stuff like that,
Right.
because they're not end user devices, they're room and resource devices. So,
Right.
yeah.
Wonderful. No, that's,
Yeah.
that's great to hear.
Yeah, it was good.
And I guess the additional days we have within the conference here. What sort of things are you looking forward to for the rest of the conference?
Yeah, so I like to go to different sessions that are outside of my scope
Okay.
or what I know, because as I'm sure like you, we always want to continue to
You got
learn.
to get
and-
out the comfort zone,
Yes,
right?
get out of your comfort zone 100%, right? Yeah, so I always try and go to different sessions that I really
Right.
don't know much about, just to get a general understanding, and maybe piques interest into me, and to maybe I want to dig deeper a little
Right.
bit more into it and sort of just expand my knowledge around
Right.
things. So that's kind of like what I like to do. And then I have another session that I'm doing tomorrow
Right.
morning as well too. So looking forward to that. And then there's a lot of amazing vendors here too that I
Yeah.
haven't really had a chance to go and speak with,
Right.
and see all the new stuff that everyone is doing, especially how it pertains to what they're going to be doing around Copilot
Yeah.
and governance and stuff like that too.
It's good to
So,
see what's in the marketplace too,
Absolutely.
right? So, no, excellent. Well, look, I think I want to say thank you, Habib. Thanks for sharing your insights, thoughts,
Pleasure.
and appreciate that. And thanks for being here, and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Pleasure. Yeah, thanks for having me on. It was great experience here at ESPC, and looking to continue connecting with other people here and outside of the community as well.
Great,
Yep.
awesome. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.